DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I can't believe you put this up. Steve Kerr thinks the pace of play in the NBA is causing injuries and recommends reducing the season to 72 games. Would it help? Okay, first off, on a serious note, Steve Kerr is coached championship teams and played on championship teams, so when he says stuff, it makes news.
Yeah,
Locke was telling us. Yeah, Locke was telling us. Yeah, right. Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan. Pick your teams carefully.
He's Ringo Starr.
Don't go to Cleveland, Steve. Look how that turned out. He played in Cleveland, I think, early in his career. So David Locke told us this last year. I think this is clearly something that's been talked about by a lot of NBA people for a long time. And it makes some sense. There's some logic to it. That the pace of play is causing a lot of these injuries. There's a ton of star players out. It's just like a daily update. Would it help? You put this up on Facebook, and people are just going to town, man. You just teed them up. Eldon, well, that'd mean less suffering for Jazz fans. Nice. Marvin, reduce it to 2 games. That'd be good. 2 NBA games.
2 NBA games?
You play one team home, you play one team away. That's it. Thanks for the season. See you next year.
Boy, that would be a lot of emphasis on those 2 games.
Mark rolls eyes. It's been 82 games for a while now. I'm pretty checked out of the Princess League.
Well, yeah, I don't think that the amount of games is the issue. I mean, he's bringing it up. But that's never going to happen because then you're asking.
Everybody takes less money. Yeah. There's less games for TV. There's less games for luxury suites and everything. It all hinges on that. And yeah, they're making a ton, but they're not giving it up.
No, you never want to give back anything that you've received from terms of finances. So with that in mind, what can they do? Can they spread it out more? I mean, why not start earlier? Just say nobody pays attention until Christmas, so what's the difference?
Float a few games in there. It's just a few games. What's the big deal?
Do you need
eliminate some back-to-backs? Is it the back-to-back and the spread out and the rest, or is it the total cumulative number of trips up and down the court?
Yeah, but it has to – he's talking about playing every other day right now, so it is the amount of games in a condensed period.
So if it were 3 games in 7 days and every once in a while they got 2 off, would the body repair a little better?
That's part of his idea as far as where he's going. And he's won titles, so that gives him the right to pop off because he's not going to get fired.
Yeah.
And they decided to go old, and they're the latest team. It happens all the time. That's going to have to ride out a superstar until that guy retires. And
that's all true, but we're seeing this happen to younger players. Wembayama with the calf, and we've heard calf injuries before that turned into Achilles injuries.
I don't think his pace of play is that big of a deal.
Well, I think I get your point on that. He's not flying around the way a perimeter defender is, but big guys move a lot more than they used to. And the point, because we've seen a lot of big guys injured, and Locke talked to us about this once, is like there's a size where you're simply too big for all this cutting and changing direction, and your body's going to break down.
Yeah, but that's...
Now, he's not as heavy, so that's a factor also.
He also isn't as muscular, so he's had injuries now every season.
And here he is again.
Yeah.
On the bench for at least a week, probably 2.
Right. How come it's never 3 to 5? It's always 4 to 6.
4 to 6 is a big number.
Yeah.
Something about bone injuries. I think a lot of the hairline fractures. And
but it can't be 3 to 5 because if it's 4, that means it could be 5. But you never hear 3 to 5.
Yeah. 3 weeks.
Or 4 to 5. It's always 4 to 6.
We'll ask around.
Doesn't make any sense. I think there's ways that you can modify it.
I liked what you said about the fewer minutes in the game. Because that's fewer trips up and down the court, and it's not just that, it's inside the half court when you're trying to rotate to shooters and you're turning and planting and exploding towards the shooter in different directions.
Defense in the regular season?
Well, theoretically,
good luck on that.
Well, if you're the 7th best guy.
And who cares if he's out?
We are talking mostly about the stars.
You didn't get the billions-dollar contract on the 7th guy.
No. Nope. And there's plenty of star power out right now. And it's cutting on the offensive end, too.
Maybe 25 guys in the league that drive the television. And you want them available as much as possible. Anybody who comes to see the Warriors in town is coming to see Steph Curry.
Right.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just a nice added bonus.
And as good as Jimmy Butler is, he's not Steph Curry.
No. Everyone else is a nice bonus.
And what kind
Butler's
of shenanigans are you going to get tonight if Green is in the mood to give you shenanigans and play the victim again?
Grab somebody in a headlock.
He's been playing the victim for years. I feel bad for the guy. How does he get out of bed? Everybody's against him. So that would be one thing I would tell these guys. Don't play the victim. The Joe working stiff doesn't want to hear it.
I get that the playoffs, there's way more energy spent in the in the playoffs than in the regular season. But the guy who's staying healthy through all of this, now, of course, as soon as I say this, but the Joker. And he's not a guy, I mean, he runs, he jogs down to the top of the court. He plays at a slower pace. And he also controls the game at that pace, which is a beautiful thing.
It works.
Right. And so he doesn't seem to be having these injuries. So to me, that strengthens this whole pace of play thing that First Lock and now Steve Kerr are telling us about. And I suspect there's dozens and dozens of people behind the scenes talking about it too. And I would expect to do something because what you just said is the most lucrative thing. And it's a business, and it's about the money. And it's 25 guys, and that even might be a generous number,
right,
who drive the TV ratings. But under the theory that, okay, we got a handful of teams that really suck, and everybody else has a guy that people want to watch. I mean, Phoenix isn't great, but Devin Booker gets on a heater. You want to make sure you see it when he starts throwing his stuff from everywhere.
Yeah.
So there are these guys on spread across the teams that aren't championship contenders, but are still decent teams.
Right. I'd put him on
that list
of 25.
And so what do you do to protect their health? And I suspect that discussion is happening behind the scenes because they're the money makers. They are who people are paying top dollar for tickets, luxury suites, and
then
sitting in front of
reduce their
TV.
minutes.
Yes, and I like that plan.
It's simple. The regular season.
All you got to do is shave what Jerry Sloan did at a different level, but shave okay, you come out of the game a minute or two earlier, you go back in the game a minute later. And if you instead of missing 6 minutes in the first quarter, John Stockton, miss 8 minutes at the end of the first and the start of the second quarter. Try to play guys big minutes in the fourth quarter.
And nobody complained about that.
Nope.
In fact, he was admired for being an Iron Man.
Yeah. And he wanted to play 40, and Sloan's like, no, that's a bad idea. We got to think about your body for the playoffs, and we got to think about you for the rest of your career. And it worked out. He was an Iron Man, and he did play for 2 decades.
Right. And to this day, he's admired.
Yeah.
No, I admire him for other things, but that's just me personally.
So I think that I see what you did there. That was clever. The way he shunned the media and controlled his life until he had a book to sell.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, good.
I'm telling you, man, I watched the game and like 25 people dropped dead right on the field.
Okay. So these guys who are playing 35 minutes, how do you get them to 30?
Easily. Just sit them down.
You got to take them out a minute earlier in the first half and put them back in 2 minutes later.
Don't expect someone else to solve your problems. That's my deal with Kerr. He loves to tell you what he thinks, but what are you doing about it? Anybody can put a sign in their yard. What are you doing about it?
He's playing Steph Curry 31 minutes a night.
Then drop it to 25.
And Butler's playing 31 also.
How old is he? 35 years old? 36?
Steph Curry is 37 and will turn 38 in March.
Then drop him down.
Be 38 by the time the playoffs roll around.
Yeah.
If the Warriors are there.
I don't know that the league is going to do anything. Hey, we're going to help you. Because he's anointed himself a spokesman for a bigger cause in a lot of things.
Yeah, but I think that what he's saying is the Lakers are trying to figure out with
Luka
but
he's
and LeBron.
Anointed himself the spokesman.
Yeah.
I'm not. If you're the spokesman for a bigger cause, by definition, other people are on board of what you're saying. So it's not a yeah, but it's yes, of course. That's why he's doing this. Because he has the street cred to be able to do it.
You should be in the league office as a consultant making big money. Because they're literally, you, PK, Patrick Kinahan. Guys, you playing him 31 for, play him 27.
Well, at least in the short term, no one's going to do anything. They're not going to do anything this year. And I'm not saying his points aren't extremely 100% valid.
But what do you control to make things better for the universe where you have correctly acknowledged things are jacked up?
Yeah. So start doing it, and if you lose a few more games,
honestly,
so
if I'm ranking them, I think that has more of an impact than spreading the games out more. I think there is a cumulative wear and tear, even if you get rest in between the games. And I get what they've done with back-to-backs, but I think that'd have a bigger impact as opposed to playing 3 games a week.
Okay.
And starting the season 3 weeks earlier.
Maybe so. But that wouldn't hurt.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. And maybe they're having that debate behind the scenes. And he's, his owner has told him, hey, they're talking about this. Weigh in. You've got the voice. I always wonder when people say stuff like this. Some people do say it just to be in the middle of everything and have the spotlight on them.
I don't think he's doing that.
But sometimes people say stuff and are like, trial balloon being floated. They're looking for the reaction, or they're putting pressure on someone who disagrees with them.
I think he's speaking to the sports science people and getting feedback from them, and then he sees the league. He's an NBA guy, and so he's not just, what can I come up to complain about today? Not at all. He's seen results. He's seen evidence. He's talked to people, and he has the ability to say it. And people will listen to what he says, obviously, because he continues to go to the well on a number of topics. And this one is valid, and it needs to be considered. From a league perspective, what can they do there as far as that goes? And, I just threw out a couple of, and it's not me. I was listening to the NBA radio driving in this morning, and they were talking about it because I knew they'd be talking about it. And so that's why I talked to them. And they talked about, hey, you're batting behind football anyway, and then the World Series, particularly this year with the World Series being as
that's an argument
fun as it was.
Not to back it up.
People, No.
Oh, you think go against the baseball playoffs?
Yeah, because you're going to lose anyway. Your day, no one's buying the NBA TV or giving them all this money for October ratings. It's not happening. It's down the line where you're going to cash in, right? So admit it. So stay away from football. Stay away from Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and play Tuesday, Wednesday,
that part,
Friday.
The NFL's clear.
Yeah.
And then I guess also schedule strategically in the games that get moved early in the season. Make sure that they're good teams beating up on bad teams. Don't let your good or mediocre. Don't let your marquee games.
Well, then you have to have arena availability because obviously these arenas are not just housing 41 basketball games and that's it.
No, a lot of them have hockey. A lot of them have concerts, just nonstop.
And circus, or, Disney on Ice.
Ice shows.
On and on and on, as they should, because they're in the business to make money too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how practical that is, but if it works, yeah. Because I really believe the NBA will get their money comes in from a great playoff system, where you have 2 weeks of locking down and all the give and take, the ups and the downs and the ebbs and flows and all that stuff. That, at least from my perspective, that's super intriguing and it's super fun. And guys would dive into the fourth row if it meant getting a basketball. And who wants them to dive in the fourth row? It's like I've said when Bryce Harper was playing in the outfield. Don't ever leave your feet, son. I need your bat.
Yeah.
Right? Unless it's the playoffs.
Do not jack up a wrist or a shoulder diving for 1 out in one regular season game.
In May.
No.
Or June. It doesn't make any sense.
The Phillies GM is at the end answering about why the season was a failure because they lost to the Dodgers in the NLCS.
Right.
It's clearly about the playoffs.
And so now they stick him at first base because they want his bat. So it's the same thing with the NFL or the NBA here. But now postseason, that's another story. So I think they can do that, but in the meantime, you can't wait for anybody to do anything else. You're going to have to do it yourself, and especially with your older guys.
And it won't have the same impact because what the teams have been able to control before is just giving a night's rest. Here's a 1-game road trip. You're flying to Utah. Don't go. You get the night off. You don't play those 30 or 35 minutes. You don't have to get on the plane. But that keeps happening, and then you've got TV executives and other teams saying, you didn't bring your star to our town. What are you doing? You didn't play your star in our TV game. What are you doing?
Apparently that's not enough, though.
That's also true. So maybe the 35 minutes down to 30 or the 31 minutes down to 27 is the way to go.
Yeah. At least give it a shot immediately. Do something about it. And then let the league go on a higher level to see what can be done.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. When we come back, everything you missed in this show, including college football, the rankings, and what kind of Cincinnati team is BYU going to face? One that's already beaten or one that really has something to play for and is going to bring their best effort of the season? That's next. Stay with us.